also be non-directive, where the supervisor invites the teacher to generate actions themselves. And of course, the last phase is strategic, in which the teachers are gradually exposed to new ideas, ways of viewing students and instruction. It helps them more about problem solving techniques and teaching methods as well. The fourth one is cognitive coaching by Costa and Garbston. So this is more on developing self-directed leaders and learners. So how does this work? Here are some of the propositions of cognitive coaching. So it is believed that all behavior is produced by thought and perception, and that teaching is also constant decision making. And then, for students to learn something new, it requires engagement and alteration in thought. So they must be involved in whatever activities for them to gain knowledge. And lastly, humans continue to grow cognitively. Okay, let's talk about the five types of supervision available in education. So we have here inspection, absolute freedom, compulsion, training and direction, and democratic leadership. Okay, so inspection. Okay, so in inspection, this is the first supervision, in the sense that the teacher becomes alert about his uh, duties and responsibilities. So this type of supervision activates the teacher to have proper readiness to deliver good teaching in the classroom. Okay, next is absolute freedom. Okay, this type of supervision gives absolute freedom to the teachers to deliver their teaching in his or her own method that he feels the best for his students. So here in this type of supervision, there is no guidelines or teaching program and appropriate methods that the teacher has to follow. There is also no inspecting authority to inspect their teaching. I think some schools are following this in Thailand, especially those subjects that are taught in English. So actually, some of the teachers I know are doing this in their school, so they have the total freedom, even in choosing what topics to teach their students. And maybe just paminsan-minsan lang yata sila ino-observe, pero sinasabi din sa kanila na, okay, this day, i-observe kita, but when it comes to the things that they will teach, they are totally free with that. And maybe some of you here are also having that. Okay, but in my current school, we do not do that. Instead, we do the next method, which is compulsion. So here, the teachers have to act in accordance of the guidelines prescribed by the inspecting personnel. And this inspecting officer or personnel could be the school director or the head teacher. And one of the negative side of this is that, for this inspecting personnel, they have their own principles of teaching, and that could be not suitable to our own. That's why sometimes, we are compelled to do it because we do not have a choice. And as a result of that, we sometimes lose our freedom and originality in this regard. And yes, in my current workplace, we follow our school director's prescribed way of teaching. Okay, and next, we also have here training and direction. So here, uh, okay, so here the students or pupils are the central points in the teaching learning process. And the teaching program should be in accordance to the needs of every child. So for this, the teachers should be given in-service training on the latest developed methods of teaching for different subjects. Um, and I think this type of supervision develops a great deal of self-confidence and creativity among teachers to teach their subjects. Okay, and the last one is democratic leadership. Okay, so there is no improvement of teaching and learning only through teachers. Yes, rather the supervisory personnel have to participate in the teaching program actively and help the teachers by giving suggestions for improvement, if any, in private. So for this, the supervisory personnel has to become aware about the problems and issues that arise in the field of teaching and learning. And of course, we'll try to help the teachers solve it. And okay, let's move to the differentiated professional development. And this is from Glathorn's view. Okay, as per Glathorn, leaders need to see the supervision process more broadly and to distinguish its views in relation to teacher needs. So here are the four professional developments that we could have, and I will only be discussing the two. So the first one is professional learning. Okay, so this is an academic system for teachers to collaborate with one another to learn, develop, and practice new methods for educating students. So this could be in the form of school seminar and workshop. And yes, in my school, uh, we also tried having this one, uh, especially related to teaching and scouting because my school loves scouting a lot. They compete a lot. So yes, every year the school makes sure that we have a scouting workshop every summer. Yes, and the second one would be informal observation. So this is an observation of a teacher, principal, or a qualified evaluator that are not announced in advance of the observation and not subject to a minimum time limit. Okay. So, yes, it may be in the form of yung dadaan sila and then they observe how you handle the children, or maybe uh, if you are tasked to do classroom decorations like that, and then they try to see if you've done your part, and also like if you are asked to if you are asked to practice the kids in some presentation, and then maybe they will try to see if uh, how do you handle those kinds of responsibilities. So yeah, I sometimes notice, some of the teachers whenever I'm teaching, and then they just dadaan lang sila and then sisilip-silip konti. And yeah, I think that's one way that they observe how you perform without even telling you that they are already observing you. So that is all. Thank you for listening to my report. Have a good day.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Claire, and for tonight I am tasked to report about differentiated professional development, Maslow's theory of human needs, and supervising the supported curriculum. This is the continuation of differentiated professional development. So we have the fourth one, which is rating. So when we say rating, these are the formative and summative assessment of teachers' performance. When we say formative, this will be the teacher's lesson plans. And when we say summative assessment, the school administrators, teacher leaders, directors, subdirectors, they are going to evaluate the teacher at the end of the semester or at the end of the school year. We also have the last one, which is individual development. All of the process used by and with individual teachers to help them grow individually. To understand and motivate people, you must understand human nature. So Maslow created a model of hierarchy of needs. So we have 5. The bottom level would be physiological needs. So when we say physiological needs, this is our physical needs like food, water, shelter, and warmth. The second need would be safety. This involves security, stability, and freedom from fear. The third one would be love and belonging. Where can we find love and belonging? Of course, none other than our friends, family, spouse, and lover. Sa mga single dyan, huwag kayong mag-alala. Kung wala pa kayong lover, malay nyo, katabi nyo pala sa screen. Joke. And the fourth one would be self-esteem. This includes achievement, mastery, recognition, and respect. And the highest need would be self-actualization. This involves pursue inner talent, creativity, and fulfillment. Now, Maslow's hierarchy provides a model for how students are motivated to learn. So this hierarchy is actually related to learning, to motivate students. Now, each student has needs that must be met in order to maximize learning. Am I right? Now, the higher up in the hierarchy a student is, the more levels that are met, the better the motivation, and therefore the more learning that the student will experience. Now, as an educator or a teacher, is it important to consider Maslow's hierarchy of needs to every student in the classroom? Let's reflect on that question. Next would be supervising the supported curriculum. What is supported curriculum? So it is an additional tools, resources, and learning experiences found in and outside a classroom, like textbooks and field trips. Now, instructional materials are a central aspect of the supported curriculum, and to develop an effective system for selecting and using instructional materials, they should consider determining how teachers will allocate space. Also, they should consider the board policies. So when we say board policies, they will be the one to direct ends to be achieved by the organization and also set limits around the means to be used to achieve the ends. We also have appointing the textbook adoption committee. So they need to appoint the textbooks that they will use. Now, in supervising the supported curriculum, they also need to prepare the committee. And also, in textbook adopting committee involving distance learning. So, in appointing the textbook that they will adopt, it should also involve distance learning like online class. So, will it be effective to distance learning? And also we have to provide the committee with selection resources. And lastly, they need to consider on determining how teachers will use the new materials. So in here, they will do brainstorming for them to have an ideas, techniques, and strategies on how the teachers will use the new materials. So will it be effective also in the classroom? Is it also effective to the teacher? Yeah, so they will determine how to use the new materials. That would be the end of my report, and thank you for patiently listening.
Um, okay, good evening, everyone. So this is, just a moment, please. This is Abigail. Just kidding. This is
You student.
Cherry Padilla. I am tasked to report about supporting culturally relevant teaching, supporting teaching and learning with technology. So we'll go first with supporting culturally relevant teaching. So it is a critical component of supervising the supported curriculum. So the teachers need to understand the following. First one is how life is organized in the students' culture. And second, how students use knowledge. Third, we have how this characteristic learning. So those are the things that we should understand as teachers. So we have here effective factors that can support cultural relevant teaching. We have number one, knowledge-based for teaching. So it is the curricular knowledge or knowledge of materials and resources for teaching, particularly in the content, including how subject matter is structured and sequence in different materials. So that is number one. And the second is we have the knowledge of students as learners. So in here, we should know or we be aware of the strength and weaknesses of our students in order for our teachers to motivate them. Hello, is it clear po?
Yes.
Okay. And number three, we have the learning cohorts with learning community. So a cohort-based learning is a collaborative learning approach where students foster a community within the group and learn together, provide social support, and collaborate. That is number three. And number four, we have mentors and teaching models. As we all know that mentoring provides a powerful opportunity to improve students' learning outcomes and with the support of course, our teaching models or our teaching materials. And the last, hello? Clear po ba?
Yes.
Yes, teacher, go please.
Medyo mahiri na po ang ano dito sa sa Ilocos.
Okay.
Okay, and then number five, we have the school-university community partnership. So this partnership, when schools and community organizations work together to support learning, so everyone benefits. So this partnership serves to strengthen, support, and even transform individual partners, resulting in improved program quality, more efficient use of resources, and better alignment of goals and curriculum. So those are the effective factors that can support the cultural relevant in teaching. So that is subtopic number 6. And now we're moving to the last subtopic, which is the please supporting teaching and learning with technology. So we have here it says that understanding the vision for technology as it applies to teaching and learning is a key to supporting school successes, especially now that we are using technologies. Example, ngayon po, tayo po ay gumagamit ng technology because we are having our online class. So as a teacher or as a mentor, we should also be aware or kailangan din po nating support ang learning using technologies. So we must also need like upgrade, parang ganun po. So that is supporting teaching using technology. So we have here the highlighted technology-based program. So we have two. The first one is the Person Success Maker. So ito po, according sa research ko, ito yung ginagamit nila to measure the reading and mathematical skills of the students. And we have here, the second is the Silverback Learning's Milepot. Ito po yung parang ginagamit nila example if you want to check or you want to input the attendance of your students using your laptop. Ito po yung pwede ninyong gamiting app. So those are the two highlighted technology-based program. I will repeat. The first one is the Person Success Maker. It measures the reading and the mathematical skills of the students using technology. And we have the second, the Silverback Learning Milespot. It measures, example, the attendance or the basic information of the students with the use of technology. So that ends the report. Thank you for listening and mabuhay Pilipinas. Okay.
Mabuhay Philippines.
Yeah. Binabagan po tayo dito.
So, that was nice. Okay, tapos na po. Tapos na ang group ninyo.
Ako po susunod.
Mr. Michael.
Ihanda na po ninyo yung screenshots ninyo para po sa ating quiz mamaya.
Naku, may quiz na naman. Ito na.
Okay. Nakikita na po ba yung screen ko?
Yes. Clear. Vivid.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my dear classmates, and most of all, good evening to our dear Professor Dr. Perona. I am asked to give a little introduction to our report, Curriculum Development and Implementation. How do we define curriculum?
Teacher, nawala yung video mo, Teacher Michael.
Not in school. Curriculum is a set of subjects. Curriculum is content. Curriculum is a sequence of courses. Curriculum is a set of performance of
Teacher Michael.
Ano po?
Hindi po namin nakikita yung ano mo, yung slides mo.
Parang Teacher Mira screen. Bakit Teacher Mira screen?
Sandali po.
Nag-share ba si Teacher Mira ng screen?
Teacher Claire. Ready? Naririnig ka, Teacher
Po, I shared the screen po. So, ikaw na mag-share.
Ikaw na mag-share, di ko maano tong ano ko.
Okay, sige.
Okay, go.
Dali na.
Kailangan daw ng intermission number.
No need na.
After the report na lang po yung intermission natin.
Okay.
Okay, sige. Okay, sit back and relax.
Okay. Take two. Oh, take two.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my dear classmates, and most of all, good evening to our dear Professor Dr. Perona. I am tasked to give a little introduction to our report, Curriculum Development and Implementation. How do we define curriculum? Curriculum is that which is taught at school. Curriculum is a set of subjects. Curriculum is content. Curriculum is a sequence of courses. Curriculum is a set of performance objectives. Curriculum is all planned learning experiences for which the school is responsible. And according to John Delnay, Curriculum is all the experiences learners have under the guidance of the school. And according to Bandy and Wales, the most common definition derived from the word Latin root currere, which means race course. And they also stated that for many students, the school curriculum is a race to be run, a series of obstacles or hurdles, and these hurdles are referred to as the subjects, and these subjects are to be passed. Now let's go to curriculum as a discipline. Graduate and undergraduate students take courses in curriculum development, curriculum theory, curriculum evaluation, secondary school curriculum, elementary school curriculum, community college curriculum, and curriculum in higher education. Now let's go back to the educational system of the Philippines during the early times. During the pre-Spanish period, education was informal and unstructured. Children were provided vocational training, but less academics by their parents and in the houses of their tribal tutors. They used a unique system of writing called the Baybayin, and it is followed or guided by the laws of Kalantiao, which is you shall not kill, neither shall you steal, neither shall you do harm to the aged, lest you incur the danger of death. All those who infringe this order shall be condemned to death by being thrown in the river or on the boiling water. Education of indigenous population was left to the religious orders, with primary education being overseen by parish friars, who generally tolerated the teaching of the religious topics. The Augustinians opened a school in 1565, the Franciscans in 1577, the Jesuits in 1581, and the Dominicans who started school in Bataan. Doctrina Christiana was printed the first book. The American soldiers are the first teachers of the Filipinos during the American occupation. They are called the Thomasites. In 1909, General Office increased primary education to 4 years. Component subjects of the curriculum are good manners and right conduct, civics, hygiene and sanitation, home geography and Philippine geography, industrial works which includes gardening, woodworking, clay modeling, lace making, basketry, poultry raising, embroidery, pottery, and domestic science. The objectives of a school under the Philippine Commonwealth: all schools shall aim to develop moral character, personal discipline, civic conscience, and vocational efficiency, and to teach the duties of citizenship. Our basic education has 3 levels. We have the primary level, intermediate level, and the secondary level. The primary level aims to equip the child with fundamental and essential skills, habits, knowledge, attitudes, and ideas needed for the unification and integration of citizens. The intermediate level is the continuation at a higher level of the integrating function of education in the primary grades. The secondary level aims to continue even farther at an even higher level, integrating function of education. We have 6 basic principles of Japanese teaching. The first one is to make people understand the position of the Philippines as a member of the East Asia co-prosperity sphere. Second, to eradicate the old idea of reliance upon Western nations. Third, to endeavor to elevate the morals of the people, keeping up overemphasis on materialism. Fourth, to strive for the diffusion of the Japanese language in the Philippines and to terminate the use of English in due course. Fifth one is to put importance to the diffusion of elementary education and to the promotion of vocational education. And sixth, to inspire the people with the spirit to love labor. there are important changes in the curriculum during the Japanese occupation. For one is the school calendar became longer. Two, class size increased to 60 students per session. Three, the Japanese required teachers and principals to render service on Saturdays. Four, they discarded textbooks or certain portions in them that contained liberal and democratic ideas. Fifth, they banned the singing of American songs. Number six, they included the teaching traditional subjects for elementary education like reading, writing, phonics, spelling, arithmetic, music, character education, health education, and English. And number seven, at the secondary level, the greater emphasis was on the study of the Japanese language.
Okay. None. For our next reporter would be Eric.
Good evening. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, so we are still on topic 10, which is the curriculum development. Okay, wait for a while, please. Oh, sorry. Very floated. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so once again, good evening. And our next topic is still on curriculum development. And we will discuss here the crafting or the creating of curriculum. Okay, so let's start by defining what is curriculum development. Okay, it says here, curriculum development is defined as the planned, purposeful, progressive, and systematic process to create positive improvements in the educational system. Sorry. Or this is a multi-process of creating and improving a course that is taught at school or at the university. Sorry, Kap. Okay, so why is it important? A thoughtfully developed curriculum provides educators with a useful framework to build upon during day-to-day instruction. And curriculum development also allows teachers to take a thoughtful and systematic approach to determine what students will be required to learn. And since our society is constantly changing, and every time there are changes or developments happening around the world, the school curricula are also affected. Therefore, we need to update them in order to address the growing needs and changing needs of our society. Okay, so that is the one purpose or important of the developing curriculum or improving the curriculum. Okay, so next, there are phases of curriculum development. First, we have the curriculum design or the structure. We also have the pilot testing, the implementation, and the evaluation. Okay, so let's start with curriculum design. This is the overall framework which describes the interaction and congruence of its four basic elements. These are the curriculum intent, which include the aims, the goals, and objectives. And then we also have the content or the subject matter. And under this, we have the values, the concepts, or the skills that are also important for learners to learn. And then next, we have the learning experiences. And It includes here all the instructional strategies that are useful for the implementation of the curriculum. And this may include the values, the concepts, or the skills that are useful in teaching the content. Okay, and next we have the evaluation. Okay, under this evaluation, it includes the different ways and tools used for evaluating the performance of students after they have undergone the curriculum. And these four basic elements of curriculum designs are interconnected to each other. So they must be present in a document before they can be called as curriculum. Okay, so that is the four basic elements of curriculum design. Okay, and we also have the models of curriculum design. We have the subject-centered, the problem-centered, and the learner-centered. Okay, primarily the subject-centered focuses on the subject matter, and or this is the discipline, yes. And the emphasis is on the bits and pieces of information which are detached from life. Okay, next we have the problem-centered. This curriculum is constructed based on the needs, the interests, the purposes, and abilities of the learner. This approach aims to provide students with relevant, let's say, real-world skills, and of course, learners are taught how to look at the problem and then come to a solution. Okay, so that is the problem-centered design, and it also builds upon the learner's knowledge, the skills, their learnings, and of course their potentials. And the next we have the learner-centered. This design emphasizes the needs and goals of each learner as an individual. So it includes here the active learning in which students solve problems, answer questions, formulate questions, and of course they can be able to discuss, explain, debate, or brainstorm during classes. Okay, so this learner-centered is also called as the child-centered design. Okay, so these are the three models of curriculum design. And there are also several guidelines in curriculum design. We have the curriculum design combination involve teachers, parents, administrators, and even teachers. School's vision, mission, goals, and objectives should be reviewed and used as basis in curriculum design. Next, the needs and interests of learners in particular, and the society in general should be also considered. Next, curriculum design should be the advantages and disadvantages in terms of cost, the scheduling, the class size, facilities, and personnel required. And then the curriculum design should also take into account the cognitive, affective, psychomotor skills, the concepts, and of course the outcome. Okay, so that is the curriculum design. Okay, the next phase is the pilot testing. So after crafting the curriculum design, the next phase is the pilot testing, where the crafted curriculum will be implemented in some classes or schools for testing. And then this pilot testing gives way for schools and teachers to implement all or parts of the curriculum in real time with real students in an attempt to gauge whether or not a particular program will meet the predetermined goals. Or kumbaga, this is a tryout or a test drive. And then the purposes of this pilot testing, it can determine the feasibility of a proposed curriculum change. and then also gather empirical data, whether the curriculum is useful, relevant, reliable, or valid. And then it also identify the deficiencies and operational problems. It also determines the strengths or weaknesses of the written or planned curriculum. So, in other words, pilot testing is a developmental process that gives the signal whether the particular curriculum can already be implemented with confidence. So, it gives the, let's say, kumbaga, ready na siya for full-scale implementation. Okay, so that is the pilot testing. And then the next phases, we have the implementation, the evaluation to be discussed by Teacher Mera. Thank you.
The next one.
Teacher Mera, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
Sure.
Teacher Eric, kakanta ka daw muna.
Okay.
Rampa.
Later, charot.
Laban mo yan, Mera. Wala kang connection.
Nagbayad ka ba ng internet mo? Chappy.
Putol, hindi maintindihan.
Teacher Mera, you said,
Wala na, binana ang China sa Pilipinas.
may bagyo yata sa China. Sa China yata lumipat yung bagyo. Teacher Mera, ano mo na yung setting ng audio mo? Wala na yata, sir. Asan na yung...
Hindi ata nakapag-VPN na taga-China.
Lumipat sa China yung typhoon na paeg. Asan na siya? Nawala. Teacher Michael, save your group. Ikaw na daw.
14 times. Habang inaayos ni... Wala, pati ako ata. Narinig niyo ako.
Oo nga, bakit ganyan ang connection niyo sa China? Di ba maganda ang
Unstable ang
system
connection
nila?
namin because of the VPN. Nasaan na
Wala.
si Mera?
Intermission number.
Okay, so while waiting for Mera, siguro mag-quiz muna tayo. Handa na ba kayo for the quiz?
Handa na.
Okay, so...
Be sure lang babalik siya, ha?
Prize! Ngayon,
Ano gusto niyo? Cash! Mga cash na talaga.
cash? Pwede rin cash. Nag-solicit daw ang group 5.
Wow. Groceries. Grocery items. O, yung mga instant.
Sige po, makakarating sa Thailand, makakarating sa Vietnam, makakarating sa Singapore ang groceries from China.
Paano may Philippines?
Ala, sorry.
Ayan na
Biglang
tayo na.
biglang winala ng Zoom. Sige na nga, try na nga natin take 2. Pag hindi pa nag-take 2, ay, wala na akong...
Okay, sige. Tapusin mo na yan, Mera.
Right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Mariflor once again from Group 5, which are part of the group who will discuss the youth of the design curriculum after it was tested. Here are the factors to be considered during the implementation. Rules. What are the rules of the students, teachers, school administrators, curriculum designers, and implementers. For learners, they are the center of the curriculum. They are the primary stakeholders who make or unmake the curriculum by their active, direct involvement. For teachers, they plan and write the curriculum. They are a curriculum maker and or architects of school curriculum. They write the curriculum interest of the learners by creating experiences from where the students can learn. They design, enrich, and modify the curriculum to suit the learner's characteristics. They are empowered to develop their own school curricula, taking into consideration the expertise and context of the school and the abilities of the learners. Teachers will shift from a developer to an implementer. The job implies guiding, facilitating, directing activities which will be done by the students. For curriculum managers and administrators, they supervise curriculum implementation, which they select and recruit new teachers, admit students, procure equipment and materials needed for effective learning, plan for improvement of school facilities and physical plans. For parents, they are the best supporters of the school's curriculum. Effective parental involvement in school affairs may be linked to
Teacher Cristel? Teacher Cristel? Okay, thank you.
Sorry po, sorry.
Okay.
events from the confine of the school to the homes. In most schools, the parent association is organized. So those are the rules of students, teachers, school administrators, curriculum designers, and implementers. Other factors to be considered during the implementation are materials. What should we be utilized during the implementation? Materials such as through non-traditional approaches to formal as informal learning, such as open universities and lifelong learning to adult learners, revolutionizing the use of technology to boost education paradigm shifts that give importance to student-centered and holistic learning. Technology offers various tools of learning, and these range non-projected and projected media from which the teacher can choose depending on what he sees fit for the learners with intended instructional settings. So here are the examples of non-projected media and projected media. And other factors to be considered during the implementation is the schedule. How should the implementation flow? Here are the factors that influence the delivery of a curriculum. Communication and motivation. Based on Middle Mist and Hill in 1988, motivation is the forces acting on and coming from within a person that account in part for willful direction of one's effort toward the achievement of specific goals. And the different communication modes are written mode, which composed of letters, memos, and reports, verbal mode, which composed of telephone conversation, meetings, and seminar workshops. And here, I'll show you Helda Tabata's inverted model of curriculum. So it's stated here that it starts in the classroom with the teacher. It ties in the curriculum with instruction, and it has 8 steps, which is 1, diagnosing the needs, 2, formulating specific objectives, selecting content, organizing content, selecting activities, organizing activities, evaluating, and checking for balance and sequences. So phases of curriculum development. So based in model of Tabata in 1967, lesson planning, lesson tryouts, curriculum design, implementation, and evaluation. So this curriculum evaluation, it is a process of obtaining information for judging the worth of an educational program, product, procedure, educational objectives, or the potential utility of alternative approaches designed to attain specified objectives. I'm going to share with you the educational curriculum in China. So the schools here primarily managed with the state-run public education system under the Ministry of Education. It is funded by the government. It has a minimum of 9 years, which 6 years of primary education, ages from 6 to 12 years old, from grade 1 to grade 10. And the subjects taught are Chinese, mathematics, physical education, music, drawing, and elementary instruction in nature, history, and geography, combined with practical work experiences around the school compound, general knowledge of politics and moral training, which stress the love of the motherland, love of the political party, and love of the people, and previously love of German Umahu was another part of the curriculum. Another 3 years of junior secondary education, which is the middle school, ages from 12 to 15, from grade 7 to grade 9. And they learn Chinese, mathematics, English, politics, history, physical education, physics from grade 8 to 9, chemistry from grade 9, geography, biology, information technology from grade 7 and grade 8. And another 3 years of high school, which is the senior high, ages from 15 to 18 years old, from grade 10 to grade 12. The academic curriculum consists of Chinese, mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, biology, geography, history, ideology, and political science, music, fine arts, PE, technology, computing, etc. And it operates a 2-semester year of about 9.5 months, which the first term begins on September 1st to January, like around second week of January. Yeah, and it depends on the Chinese calendars. And the second term is after the Spring Festival, so it is around second week of February or first week of February, depending on the Chinese calendar, to first week of July. Yes. And there are two major examinations for the students here. The first is what they call Yongkao, which is a senior high school entrance examination. It is an academic examination held annually in China to distinguish junior graduates, most commonly students who will be tested in Chinese, mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, political science, and PE. Scoring system vary across regions. So Zhongkou is taken before they go to senior high. Yes. And another is the National College Entrance Examination, popular as Gaokao. Yes. And it is a standardized college entrance exam held annually in mainland China. It is required for entrance into almost all higher education institutions at the undergraduate level, including for short cycle 2-year and long cycle 4 years degree programs. It is usually taken by students in their third and last year of senior high school, but the age requirement was abolished in 2001. The exams last about 9 hours over a period of 2 or 3 days, depending on the province in which it is held. The standard Chinese language and mathematics are included in all tests. Candidates can choose one subject from English, French, Japanese, Russian, German, or Spanish for the foreign language portion of the test, with most students selecting English. Generally, the Modern College Entrance Examination takes place from June 7 to 8 every year. though in some provinces it can last for an extra day. But nowadays it is like postponed because of the COVID-19. So yes, that's it. So questions and clarifications, please ask Mr. Google. Joke. Anyway, that's all for my report today. Thank you so much for listening and God bless us all. Okay, so may natutunan ba kayo? Maraming salamat. Ang papremyo ay ibibigay ni ng aming email. OTL, nasaan ka na?
Kumano to, hindi ko manabigate ang computer.
Sana yung mooncake natin.
Oo
May
nga.
oras pa ba? May oras pa ba tayo?
Meron
Marami
pa.
marami.
Marami pa. Gusto
Okay.
pa ni Sir ng exciting moments at mga surprises.
Okay.
Ano ba?
Sige. Mag-quiz tayo 1 to 5 lang. Handa na ba ang mga papel?
Anong prizes muna?
Yung prizes po ay papipiliin po namin kayo ng prizes.
Ano
Ibibigay namin kayo.
ano nga yun muna?
Pwede rin pong, meron, di ba pwedeng groceries?
Meron pala sponsor.
Groceries.
Ano pa? Two.
Starbucks
Starbucks. Oh, may pang Starbucks.
for two. Starbucks for two.
Ay, hindi pa pwede Starbucks for two. Ganun ba yun? Ay, kung mananalo siya, dalawa sila mag-Starbucks. Oh, ganda nun ah.
Para may kasama.
So, ano pang iba? Dapat maraming choices, options.
Ay, maraming choices.
Ah.
Ay,
Kasi sabi
Trip
ni
to
Sir,
Jerusalem.
diba, ano po?
Trip to
Trip
Great
to
Falls
China.
sana.
Trip to Philippines sa kanya kasi close ang China.
One-way trip daw, one-way trip.
Pwede ba yung price, yung price, yung dapat, ano siya, accepted agad sa China, magtuturo na kaagad? Ay,
Doon kay Teacher Michael na accepted na.
Oh. Ready na kami. Teacher
okay,
Michael,
sige,
go na.
sige. So, paano, ang mechanics natin na lang ay yung maunang maghihanda na lang ang mga keyboard. Tapos, ang basis na lang natin ay yung magta-type ako ng go, kung sino yung susunod sa message ko, siya yung winner. Kaya lang, minsan, iba-iba ang setting ata nitong Zoom. So, ang magiging basis na lang natin ng winner ay yung sa screen ko. I-screenshot ko na rin para walang dayaan. Okay, number 1. Ihanda ng mga
May choices ba yan? A, B, C, D agad? Ganun lang.
wala pong choices.
Ay, naku.
Wala pong choices. Ano po?
Wrong spelling wrong ah. Wrong spelling.
Number 1, siguro ang pinaka-popular na question natin dito is, ready na ba?
Ready
Number
na.
one. Number 1. So, saka lang mag-set ng answer pag may go. Okay. Number 1, define curriculum.
Ayan.
Two sentence lang for phrase that will define curriculum. Sabi ko kasi kanina mag-screenshot kayo.
Uy,
Sabi ko sa inyo,
Nag-go na ba?
ito ay yung sa last na
wala pang
sinabi
go.
ko.
Wala pang go.
O, ready na ba? Nakatype na ba? Kasi para man may chance ito mag-type gaya ko. Ready na? Go!
Uy, bakit ganun? Hindi nag-ano yung ano ko. Enter.
Ah,
Ano?
ang nanalo ko ay si Sir Kenneth.
Wow!
Sabi ni Sir
Congrats!
Kenneth.
Ang bilis ni
Set of
Kenneth ah.
subjects. set of subjects.
Yun nga. Bakit akin ayaw? Ayun na.
Sir Ken.
Oh.
Si Sir Ken. Okay. Number 2. Number 2 question. What do you call the first? Ano?
Si Sir Perona.
Ha?
Nagpwede ka daw sumali.
Check natin kung nakikinig si Sir. Iba-invite natin si Sir kung nakikinig siya dito.
Pwede.
Pag si Sir ang nanalo ay magpapa-Starbucks ako ng 4-3.
For
Sir,
family.
inom ka po ba ng kape?
Sir, ilan ba anak niyo, Sir? 10. 10 anak niyo, Sir.
Sige na.
Okay. Second, yung mostly sa question natin nakafocus sa sa old curriculum natin noong unang panahon.
Ako, paday.
Yes.
Sino kaya yung panghirap naman yun?
Okay.
Sino yung panahon?
Next question. What do you call to the first batch of trained teachers dispatched by the American government? It begins with letter T.
Hala, ano po yan?
Naku, hindi ko nasulat yun.
Parang ano yan?
Ala, sinabi ng
Pwede
sir.
natin yan.
Sir, ano nga, Sir?
Sinabi ko natin yan. Kasi it starts with T.
Teachers.
Nadali na yung Starbucks mo, Teacher Mera.
Ay, teacher.
Wala nang bawian.
Ayan na, Sir, hello.
Wala pang go.
Wala naman
Wala pang go. Disqualified rin. Teacher rin, disqualified. Wala pang go.
1, 2, ready,
Ito.
go!
Ayun na. Uy, si Teacher Clement. Yay! Teacher Clement. Ang galing.
No, sa akin, ang sumunod sa akin ay si ang sumunod sa group ko ay si Teacher Deos.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
The place to be.
Science.
Okay. Wala bang second prize?
Bilis mag-enter. Ang
Sayang, ang tagal ko kasi mag-copy-paste.
Akala ko may sasagot na STEM. Kasi si Sir STEM start with T.
Okay, number 3 para di tayo matagalan.
Wala ba kasing choices yan? Kahirap-hirap to.
Ay, very basic na po ito. Very basic.
Amazing na talaga, ha? O,
As in,
sige.
very basic. Kahit hindi ka nakinig.
Baka about China yan, ha? Education system ng China
About
yan.
Philippines.
Ah,
Okay,
Philippines.
number 3 question. Number 3. The 3 basic education level that started during the Commonwealth.
Ako, American time.
Pero yun, kahit it just started during the Commonwealth, pero nag-continue yun kahit kung panahon ninyo at panahon ko.
Sa panahon namin, hindi na.
Panahon nyo, Mera, ano pa to?
Ay, Mera, ha? Baka ano ka dyan, ha?
Hoy, dalawa lang primary, saka yung elementary at high school. Walang
Parang ganun, pero meron silang ibang tawag noong unang panahon.
Eh, anong tawag to?
Panahon nyo nga.
Yung isa, it starts with letter I. Ay,
Panahon
letter
na.
C, yung
I
una.
love you.
Imperialism! Dalawa,
Ah,
starts
yun na,
with
isa,
letter
yun
I.
na.
Tapos yung isa, starts with letter S. So, tatlo yun.
ISS. Imperialism.
One.
Ay, alam ko na, sandali lang.
Type nyo na.
Sandali lang.
I-type na. Basta ang umpisa ay P yung first, ikalawa ay I, ikatlo ay S. The basic education levels.
Wala pang go?
Wala pa.
Basic education.
Basic education levels po natin sa Pilipinas.
Eh, teka lang, sandali. Kasi
Wala pang
nakialam. Teka lang, nakialam ko lang. Ready?
Alam naman na yan.
Ready na.
Ah,
Ready na.
IS ba yun?
Ready?
Uy,
Una, Teacher Michael.
Di ano,
Sister
bakit,
Phil sa
ano, hindi ko mabasa. Bakit iba ang nag-appear dito?
agad kan, Michael. Ako sumunod sa'yo.
Walang signal niya po.
Akala ko yung IS elementary school.
Intermediate level and
At
secondary
secondary.
level. Yes, correct. Si teacher.
Rain. Sa akin, si Rain.
Yes, si Real.
Ay, bakit sa akin? Ako kasunod mo, sabunutan kita dyan. Tira mo is.
Silent sa bulutan.
So really, di ba consider yung walang level?
Uy,
Hindi consider dapat kompleto.
Ay, gano'n.
ay, di ba level na ba yung primary? Ibig sabihin, susunod doon, mga levels na.
Tapos, next question na pa
Ay, teacher,
tayo.
ilalaban ko yung screenshot ko Ako yung kasunod mo. Siyempre, totoo nga.
Ako din.
Ilaban nyo na, screenshot nyo, para lang tayo.
Number
Totoo nga.
4, ang question natin. Ano, mahirap ata ito. Mukhang mahirap ang question natin now.
Oh,
Kaya makinig po maigi. Number 4 question. What kind of training do we have during the American regime that is tantamount to the program that some lawmakers in the Philippines is trying to reinstate now, in which they believe will promote patriotism? The keyword is training. Training. It promotes patriotism. Anong klaseng training yon? So isinusulong ngayon sa I think sa Kamara or sa Senado at ni VP Sara, pero ito meron na nung American regime.
ROTC.
Yes, that's the ROTC, but meron tayong ibang tawag diyan, kaya nga
tawag doon.
sinabing training siya. The keyword is training and it starts with letter C. May connect siya sa patriotism. Training may connect sa patriotism and it starts with letter C. Ready na
Ay,
ba?
naku.
Study training.
Uy, alam na. Napindot
Wala pang
ko.
go. Wala pang go. Dapat may go.
Ay, kasi napindot eh.
Okay, magkano
Type
na?
mo na.
Yung mga
Type mo na.
Itatype na namin ang sagot.
hindi siya okay, Q hindi siya cadet training, hindi siya CAT training.
Oh, ano na.
Basta isang word lang siya, hindi siya abbreviation, isang word lang siya, may connect siya sa patriotism that starts with letter C. Ilang letters siya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ano siya? 11 letters. 11 letters training. 11 letters tapos training. Nag-umpisa siya noong American regime na nagpatuloy tapos ano na? Nawala. Okay, ready na?
Hindi pa.
1,
Hindi kami ready.
Training.
2, ready, go!
Go na. Chubanesa.
Wala namang clue. Bigay mo na kami ng clue.
Okay, medyo mahirap.
Second letter.
Second letter ay I. Okay, magtatype ulit ako ng go.
Citizenship training.
1, ang last ay ship. 1, 2, ready, go!
Ayan na.
Go! Si Teacher Cristel, nawala, hindi nag-iba.
Yes, si Crystal
Uy,
Crystal.
ako ulit yung kasunod ha. Ikaw talaga. I-screenshot ko ulit ha.
Teacher
I-screenshot ko ulit.
Cristel Montemor.
Uy, bakit ganon?
After na go mo,
Oo. Right after nang go ako. Tignan mo.
Si Maria man.
Oh,
O si Teacher Maria after go.
Yung nanalo na hindi na pwedeng mag-join, di ba, Sir Michael?
Oo
Or
nga. Hindi
pwede
pa
pa
ako
ba?
nanalo.
spelling
More
Dalawa
chances
kami
of
ni
winning
Teacher
ba?
Cristel.
More chances of winning siguro para masaya.
Okay,
Andyan
sige,
na-
sige.
Kasi kung mawalan tayo ng ng prizes. Andyan si Mera. Marami pa star.
Okay, sige.
Kami na lang.
Ilaban ko ang citizenship. Ano yun?
Ilaban natin ng Starbucks.
Relationship.
May question.
China para sa Starbucks.
Senior citizenship.
Citizenship. Civilizationship. Magaling na citizenship.
Okay. I'm not sure kung alam niyo itong, kung nag-screenshot kayo kanina, siguro makuha niyo na sa report ko.
Dali mo, Teacher Michael, baka naman yung grupo namin din report, ha?
Okay. Last
Dali
na,
mo.
last na.
Meron pa kami
Last na.
report.
Pero kung hindi ito makakasagot, next na kayo. Next. Next ay, what do you call, ay, hindi pala, the unique system of writing during the pre-Spanish period.
Ano
Of
ba yun?
writing during the Spanish period, which is guided by the laws of Calantiao, and it starts with,
Alibata.
no.
Ay,
Okay, itatype ko na ang go. Ang first syllable niya ay by. Ang last
Bye-bye.
na syllable niya ay yin.
Akin.
1, 2, ready, go! Uy, nauna ako.
I got it.
Uy, yung mga nanalo na, huwag na kayo sasali.
According to my according to my screen ulit.
Copy ba ako, wag kayo.
Teacher Lori.
Teacher Lori.
Uy, mag-screenshot ako, hindi to pwede.
Nag-screenshot din ako, yung dalawang panalo ko, ha?
Meron yung screenshot.
Uy,
Okay, meron.
8:37 p.m. by tayo.
Okay, that's ito yung last.
Sige,
Nagkagulo na, bahala na si Mera para
i-share
sa
natin sa group chat natin yung yung mga screenshot ng mga nanalong hindi nila nire-recognize.
Sir Mera, to equal yun.
Ganun ang sagot ko, ha? Protesta ako.
Yung mga protest niyang yung mga protest niyo ang mag-a-accommodate ay si Teacher Mera.
O, Teacher Mera.
Alam, magpo-protesta daw si Teacher Maria. Parang
Okay, all for our game. So yung mga i-message na lang namin.
Yeah, maaga po. Let's go. Spaghetti po, thank you.
nanalo ako, makakabantay lang
Hindi
kayo.
nanalo ng Starbucks. Si Sir Perona. Teacher Mera yung Starbucks, si Sir Perona. Si Sir Perona na lang, ha? Silang dalawa ng misis niya, tsaka yung apo niya.
Oo, nakuha niya yung Teacher Mera, nakuha niya yung kape kanina.
Nakuha niya si Thomas Sides.
Yeah.
Thomas
Nakuha niya yung Thomas Sides. Sabi mo kasi mag-participate si Sir.
Na-challenge tuloy si Sir. Oy, pag may nagsagot sa nag-M kanina, isa Starbucks ko eh. Kaso,
Okay na. Sir,
Okay na,
may
Teacher
oras pa ba
Mera.
para sa group 1, the last reporter?
Yes, we have a lot of time.
Okay, wala lot of time pala eh. Anyway, weekend naman. Alright! Thank you very much. Congratulations to group number 5 for a very nice, engaging, and motivational presentation and games.
Napakayaman talaga ng mga taga-China. Grabe.
Yeah. Now, okay, last but not the least. Okay, I'd like to introduce Teacher Magna Sigismundo as a leader, the leader of Group 1, to present our
Wala na pala. Yun yung games.
Tumunutan ka na dyan. Rila,
mamaya meron kami.
Teacher Magna.
Good evening, everyone. Marinig ba ako?
Good
Loud
evening.
and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay. A pleasant evening to our handsome professor, none
Wow.
other than Dr. Nathanael Perona,
Nathan.
and to all my gorgeous classmates.
Wow.
Our group has prepared a simple presentation of Unit 11, which is aligning the curriculum, and Unit 12,
curriculum and teacher evaluation. I hope you will bear with us. So just sit, listen, watch, and relax. Feel free to jot down some important notes. So, here it goes.
Ano ba yan?
Feel.
Teacher Clement, no audio, no sound. Pakiulit na lang po, Teacher Clement, please. Check muna natin yung setting po.
Wait po. Same assistant.
Hindi po siya marinig, Teacher Kenneth. Ay, Teacher Clement.
Share niyo po ulit tapos pakiclick ng share sound button.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Teacher G.
So may prize na ako, Teacher Maria, right?
Okay. That's good. Okay. One prize. One
Helping hand, di ba? Okay.
Ano pa bang kailangan, Miss Maria? Ano pa po bang kailangan? Sige nga. Kasi parang matik ako cellphone.
Mic. Sandali po.
Share. Out muna,
Background music,
share
teacher.
again. Oo. Out muna and then share again.
Teacher Guy,
Yes, Teacher March. Are you calling my...
ako na lang mag-ano.
Ikaw na lang kaya.
Ikaw na
Hindi. Kaya naman na. Ikaw na nakaano.
Teacher, confession, baka kailangan namin ng backup. Well.
Wala bang palakpak dyan?
Pang Grand International.
Hindi ko na
MGIT.
Ano po? Narinig po ba?
Oo, clear na.
Yes.
Wait.
Face-to-face classes and sessions until we are assured of the safety of our children and our teachers.
Tingnan ng ilang kabataan ang pagpasa ng Kongreso sa panukalang ipatupad ang mandatory ROTC sa senior high school. Ilang estudyante na raw kasi ang naabuso noon sa ilalim ng programa. Live mula sa Quezon
The
City.
Philippine Business for Education. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us on the program. So, tell us, why is education in the Philippines in serious crisis?
We believe at Philippine Business for Education that the Philippines is in a learning crisis, Rico, because first, it's not just about the delivery of education, but really the kind and the quality of education that our children are getting. In many,
9-year-old Edmar and his younger brother Cedric don't know it, but they're breaking the law. Neither of them can read or write, but instead of going to school, they spend their days scavenging to earn a living.
Carmina, students of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines fear that they are the next target of the Department of National Defense. Students, also faculty members, and other activist organizations held a protest rally here in front of the main gate of PUP in Santa Mesa, Manila.
Sinimulan ang day of outrage sa pag-walk out ng mga estudyante sa kanilang mga klase. Sa Polytechnic University, nangalampag ang mga organizers sa campus para makiisa sa anilay walang hapas na parusa na pinapataw sa mga estudyante at magulang ang tuition fee increase.
Teacher Clement, walang audio. Teacher Clement, di po parinig. Teacher Clement.
Baka akapela man.
Hindi, may audio yan eh. Oo nga, Teacher Clement, paki-rewind ng konti. Rewind eh, no? Ano yun? Cassette tape.
Hindi pa narinig yung audio na?
Meron yung part nung PUP.
Ito po.
Mm-mm.
Sa rally.
Oo.
Ang mga organizers sa campus para makiisa sa anilay walang hapas na parusa na pinapataw sa mga estudyante at magulang ang tuition fee increase.
Yan din yung part na yan po.
May subtitle naman, basahin na lang yung subtitle, ma'am.
Hindi maganda kasi.
Hello. Baka ka, pati wifi na dula na. Alam, Bisaya pala ito. Hindi ko naintindihan.
Bale, may ilong gumayara manggid ba?
I-share na lang namin yan sa group natin.
Sino pwedeng kumanta na lang?
Oo nga. Ano po ng mga UP students in Davao yata? Yung kanilang cheering
No,
squad.
sa ano yun? UP Visayas.
Ay, UP ba? UP Visayas. Oh.
Yes.
Setla Bisaya.
Oo nga.
Welcome to another episode of Spotlight.
Naglalag teacher.
Good evening. I am Magna Sismondo. Tonight, I will be sharing to you about curriculum alignment. I will be presenting answers to the following question. Number 1, what is curriculum alignment? Number 2, what are the essential elements for curriculum alignment? And number 3, how to organize a curriculum alignment project. Question number 1, what is curriculum alignment? Curriculum alignment is the process of ensuring that the written, the taught, and the tested curricula are closely congruent, and that the curriculum guides, the teacher's instructional plans, and the assessment measures are aligned. What are the essential elements for curriculum alignment? Some essential elements for curriculum alignment includes 9 Number 1, sequence. Curriculum can be aligned vertically, horizontally, and internally. Vertical alignment, this is how curriculum translates itself in a given content area. Complex ideas and skills follow simpler ones. While horizontal alignment, this is how curriculum works across a given grade level. Topics are addressed and then covered again in a spiraling curriculum approach, with the learning level advancing with each reteaching. While internal alignment, this is how the individual teacher brings the curriculum into the classroom. Teachers here consider students' abilities in determining teaching strategies. Number 2, consistency. Elements of consistency within the curriculum begin to change as students move from elementary to high school. Core subject is compulsory, whereas elective subject is the topic you choose to study. The distinction between mandatory and optional is more evident at high school level, wherein students can pick and choose courses as they relate to graduation and college requirements. Number 3, coordination and integration. Highly effective curriculum planning includes subjects are aligned throughout the curriculum. Subject areas are interwoven in a thematic scheme. Topics can be coordinated and integrated across disciplines. Information can be covered through methods of inquiry. And the main goal for this is to identify mastery objectives within the curriculum. Curriculum design. Curriculum design can be subject-centered design model, learner-centered design model, or problem-centered design model. As part of the overall curriculum planning process, many schools are currently using a design based on analysis and outcome perspective. These are usually standard-based alignment. The process falls into categories of developing goals, setting benchmarks, defining courses, dividing courses into units, planning units, and formulating specific objectives. These include goal-based design, unit and lesson design, and designing pre-assessment. Goal-based design. This is the setting of clear and practical goals that will expand the curriculum, which involves administrators coordinating school-based services and resources to best integrate curriculum for students in their schools. Unit and lesson design. Lesson plan should align with the unit plan. A well-crafted lesson should have clear goals, thoughtful task analysis, chunked learning, use modalities appropriate to the content, link students' interests and experiences, has thoughtful use of whole class, small group, or even individual work, has assessment check for understanding, and a plan B if students have difficulty. Questioning strategies should also enhance the development of students' problem-solving skills, with the teacher emphasizing higher order thinking skills. Pre-assessment. Effective pre-assessment helps strengthen lesson design and can clarify where the students are so the teachers can lead them to mastery. Pre-assessment is a way to gather evidences of students' readiness, interest, or learning profiles before beginning a lesson or a unit. Pre-assessment can then be a catalyst for differentiation as well as a launching point for more effective teaching and learning. Question number 3. How to organize a curriculum alignment project. Curriculum alignment project can be organized using a curriculum alignment plan. The initial step in organizing the alignment of any project is the allocation of responsibilities. If a project is complex, involving several critical stages, it will generally operate more effectively if it involves a wide range of participants. One effective way of organizing any alignment process is the appointment of the Curriculum Alignment Committee. This will be a representative group largely responsible for planning and coordinating the project. These can include an appropriate number of representatives, such as district administrators, district supervisors, school administrators, teachers, and even parents. The committee can develop its own planning guide indicating the steps to be taken, the deadline for each step, and those responsible for each step.
Teacher Therese.
That is all for the topic tonight. To end my presentation, I would just like to share
Kindly turn
this
off your
curriculum
microphone.
tip 11.3. According to Albert Einstein, you should make things as simple as possible, but not simply. Once again, this is Magna Sismondo. Thank you for listening.
Siya rin. Pag-mute na lang yung mic.
Teacher Therese, turn off po yung mic. Thank you po.
So again, remember, curriculum alignment. Ready for the next topic? Let's welcome Teacher Maria.
Good evening, I'm Maria Victoria Gabriel. Tonight, I'm going to share to you the importance of organizational strategies in education. As mentioned in the previous presentations, curriculum alignment members first need to start with a big picture map of the bigger concepts to be taught and an understanding of how concepts and skills develop over time and in relation to another. These curriculum maps are invaluable in aligning existing courses to new programs, as well as the state standards according to Remillard in 2016. Basically, special education considerations should be a part of any mapping exercise. Therefore, what does organizational strategies mean? It relates to committee members at that time need to work collaboratively to determine a scope and sequence. It formulates requirements in electives and eventually coordinate the entire curriculum. There are 8 types of organizational strategies. They are identifying mastery objectives, developing curriculum, focusing on culture and social diversity, correlating the mastery list and instructional materials, developing instructional planning aids, making a yearly planning matrix, developing a management planning matrix, and creating a unit planning guide. Let me explain briefly about each meaning, types, and some examples. Let's start with number 1, identifying mastery objectives. When we speak about mastery objectives, these are objectives that are essential for and require careful structuring. This is largely due to a list of mastery objectives being used in developing curriculum-based tests, as well as alignment of resources and materials. However, there are 3 types of objectives that should not be included in the master list. They are objectives too difficult to assess with district-made assessments. For example, assessing listening skills. It is because they are difficult to develop, administer, and score. Next is objectives that are not considered essential for all students. It is identified as enrichment materials that are not really basic for all students, but simply broaden the curriculum or challenge the more able. Last one. Objectives that have been emphasized at some previous grade level or some future grade level. These include objectives that are to be reviewed or introduced. Only those objectives to be emphasized at a particular grade level and should be identified in the alignment project. Here's an example. 2. Developing curriculum-based assessment. This assessment plays a huge role in the alignment process. Further, the importance of alignment within and between both new and existing courses and units cannot be overstated. Making the transition from an existing course to a new course, as well as developing new units and lessons, takes a great deal of collaboration and shared leadership. The following are suggested guidelines for curriculum-based testing. Determine if assessment aligns with current state standards. Determine test scope and frequency. Determine how many forms of each assessment will be required. Check validity of assessment items as they relate to objectives and benchmarks. Use pilot form of tests if available. Use a system that provides administrators, teachers, and students with quick retrieval of information. And last, monitor assessments to ensure items are valid, that the answers are correct, and that something reflects priorities and standards. Let's go to number 3. Focusing on culture and social diversity. This means building relationships with students is the key to their success. And our goal as educators should be to educate, activate, and motivate our students regardless of their background. Essential skills needed to focus. They are deep cultural knowledge, the ability to listen, speak, read, and write, academic knowledge, the ability to think and to learn. These essential skills can provide a critical remedy for improving the performance of English language learners and others. It is important to focus on these skills to address cultural and social diversity issues. Number 4, correlating the master release and instructional materials. This is all about reviewing textbooks or software currently in use to establish whether new materials will be required. Correlation process accomplishes 2 important goals. A, provides a means to ensure that quality instructional materials are available. B, helps teachers make their instructional plans. Here's an example. That's up number 5. Developing instructional planning aids. These are materials that will assist teachers in developing and implementing instructional plans. These help classroom teachers plan and facilitate the planning process. These include a yearly planning matrix, a management and monitoring matrix, and unit planning guides, standard or digital format. Here's an example. Let's move on to number 6. Making a yearly planning matrix. Teacher leaders will first need to help in making tentative plans for the school year to ensure that all mastery objectives are taught and reinforced and that adequate time has been provided. One effective way of using the yearly matrix is as follows. Teacher submits the yearly matrix to an instructional leader. Instructional leader and teacher confer about the yearly plan, discussing issues of sequencing and time allocation, and making any changes they both agree are necessary. The yearly matrix is posted in the classroom so that students and classroom visitors can be informed. Teacher is expected to bring the yearly matrix to any supervisory or evaluation conferences. Here's an example. Number 7, developing a management planning matrix. This is another design tool which has been developed to help curriculum leaders plan, implement, and evaluate an effective professional learning program. This matrix design encourages planners not only develop technology professional learning goals, but also formulate measurable indicators of successful in-service. The matrix forces planners to detail activities and leadership roles and to set implementation and evaluation dates. This is one of the most successful tools used by school leaders in designing effective professional learning process. Last but not the least, number 8, creating a unit planning guide. Teachers also need help with their unit planning. There are two approaches can be used. A, the objective shape the unit, which means begin with the yearly matrix, list related objectives in unit classes, and check to set that the time allocation seem appropriate for the grade level. B, the unit theme influences the selection of the objectives, and that teachers learn how to integrate mastery objectives into thematic units, begin by wrapping in the unit, identifying the unit theme, determining the approximate length of the unit, classifying the major unit generalizations, and identifying the key resources. Let me end my report with a nice, meaningful quotation. Here's one. Teacher as learner is the centerpiece linking classroom and school improvement. And if we believe in active student learning, we must consider the variety of ways in which students are encouraged to participate. That's the end of my report. A beautiful evening to everyone. Thank you for listening. This is Teacher Maria Victoria Gabriel from the Land of Strive with Love. God bless.
Thank you, Teacher Maria, sa pag-share ng mga organizing strategies. Yes, thank you, Teacher Maria, for sharing.
Good evening, Dr. Verona. Good evening, classmates. Tonight, I'm going to discuss with you about utilizing research for curriculum alignment, using data-driven programs, and monitoring and evaluating curriculum alignment. For the most part, research is consistent regarding the positive relationship between student achievement and teacher quality. Any alignment of curriculum needs to involve an understanding of research. Educators rely on experience and anecdotal information to guide instruction and learning. Now, there are two types or two major questions curriculum leaders should ask when selecting and aligning programs. First, does the program comprehensively cover each of the evidence-based skills that students need to be proficient in? Or has the program or approach been scientifically proven to work with students? Asking these types of questions is highly important for curriculum leaders at all levels. Research obtained should include information on appropriate methodologies, peer review, converging evidence, and practical applications. Now, there are two types of research that curriculum leaders can utilize for curriculum alignment. First is quantitative research and qualitative research. But what are the difference between quantitative and qualitative research? Quantitative research allows you to test hypotheses. So you can expect to see data collected with this approach will mainly be expressed in numbers and graphs. It also requires a larger sample size. In numbers, or these numbers are then analyzed through math and statistical analysis. School leaders then often use quantitative research when examining areas of student achievement. On the other hand, qualitative research allows to formulate hypotheses. Opposite to quantitative research, this approach will yield that express in words and also require fewer respondents. The data is then analyzed by summarizing, categorizing, and interpreting. Such as case studies, qualitative research uses words rather than numbers. But why is research important in curriculum? Research in education has enabled significant progress to be made in curriculum development and reform, educating learners with difficulties, understanding individual differences and preferences, and in adapting methods of instruction to the needs of individual learners. Research helps to know the relevance of curriculum in present scenario, and through research, we can identify the limitations and drawbacks of the curriculum. Also to know the curriculum is satisfying the needs of children and society. Research in curriculum evaluation helps to improve the teaching levels of teachers. It helps to the curriculum planner to determine the objectives of the curriculum. And through the research, we can identify the needs of the teachers and students. With the help of research, we can develop new instructional strategies and learning methods. Research helps to identify the goals and objectives of curriculum and also to evaluate the curriculum. And through research, we can identify the areas where revision is needed and we can know how the curriculum is valued and reliable. Using data-driven programs. Every teacher should succeed with data literacy. Therefore, curriculum committees should determine what data and reporting materials will be required in the alignment project. Now, there are key elements of data use that have been used in numerous projects. First is plan of action. It expands the definition of data beyond results from state assessments and other traditional indicators. For example, a planning report can summarize student performance for each class on the previous year's summative examination. Teachers use the report to determine which objectives need additional review and which students require special attention. Another one is classroom culture of data. It provides prerequisites and supporting conditions to review the culture of classroom teaching and learning. A classroom diagnostic report can be provided to teachers after each assessment. This gives information relating to all students in the class. School leaders can then use this data to help analyze and utilize information about district curriculum and how it relates to school communities. Another one is individual student report, or this is what we call student report card. Provides comprehensive information for each student. It also distributed after each major testing. It gives the student's name and indicates for all objectives the number correct and incorrect. The individual student report is made available to teachers, the student, and the student's parents. Another one is data analysis review. It allows for a collaborative discussion of data. Some data conversations may be full school or small grade level teams. These discussions often provide a practical tool when making decisions over a period of time. Without doubt, with ever-present new advances in data-driven instruction, classroom teachers are now better able. Oh, there is one more, a data analysis. I'm done with this. Okay, sorry. So, with ever-present new advances in data-driven instructions, classroom teachers are now better able to transition schools into digital places of learning. Now, there are benefits of using educational technology. First is improving HOTS or higher order thinking skills, such as problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. Preparing students for their future in competitive global market. Designing student-centered, project-based, and online learning environments. Guiding systemic change in our schools to create digital places of learning. And inspiring digital age professional learning models for working, collaborating, and decision making. In our school, SISBR, Singapore International School of Bangkok, students are provided laptops and iPads in their classroom or the ICT room. Well, of course, depending on the teacher's instructions. In primary one, they are taught to how to use Google, how to search on Google, and how to use Google their Gmail, how to log into their Gmail account, and also how to use other Google apps like